I'm Mark Darren, designer on Tales of Monkey Island. This is episode 3, Lair of the Leviathan.
I'm Mike Stimley, designer on Tales of Monkey Island, and I did absolutely nothing on this episode.
I'm Jake Rodkin. I co-directed this episode.
I'm Eric Party, cinematic artist on this episode. I'm Daniel Rivera, cinematic artist on this episode.
I'm Sean Vanneman, and I wrote this episode.
I'm Joe Pitney, and I designed this episode.
Let's talk
Right.
about it now.
And it apparently just got swallowed by a giant manatee.
Good heavens.
The first time I saw that
Guybrush,
manatee
I'm
get
taking
mocked
you
up
in.
and swallow a ship, I about lost my mind. So good.
Cool.
How did we decide it was going to be a manatee anyway?
Because manatees are funny, funny animals.
I will say that I think that I proposed manatee as a joke, and then you, Mike, latched onto it immediately.
Typical.
It was like,
Typical
the original outline for this episode was Guybrush and Morgan get trapped in a sea monster and have to deal with stuff. Right, I mean, the sort of through line of the episode was there from the beginning, but it wasn't originally a manatee. And then it was. I cried a small manatee.
Because manatees are funny, and those are really creepy looking.
The grubs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Grubs are creepy.
Could someone explain to me why Spanish Conquistador says esponja? Just curious.
Because
It's creative choice.
I
Don't ask
don't
questions.
know how to pronounce things in other languages or spell things in other languages, as evidenced by the German flag in the first episode.
The floor here looks a lot like SpaghettiOs.
I was about to say that exact thing.
That's another creative choice. There was some reference given.
Yeah.
SpaghettiOs, primarily.
Yeah.
Delicious manatee tongue.
Yeah.
Oh, the Newlywed Game.
You guys should talk about the Newlywed Game.
The Newlywed Game. How did that come up?
On the video screen here.
That's true. But how did we even... I don't remember how that came about, other than we wanted... We knew that he was going to be an obsessive romantic, but we didn't know... Like, we knew that he was going to be jealous of them, but we didn't know...
And we wanted boatloads of, like, relationship stuff in this episode. It's all about trust and betrayal.
Yeah, the themes were established early, I feel like. Like, from, like, week one, we knew that it was going to be about.
We wanted to also get Morgan and Guybrush's relationship pushed forward in a big way for all the eventual reversals to come later on.
Yeah, teasing their, whatever, their almost romance. Making a moment out of that. The most important moment in the game, as I recall.
That comes later. The emotional linchpin.
Yes, the linchpin of the episode.
This is basically all about her discovering that Guybrush isn't the kind of mighty pirate she thinks he is.
Yeah.
But still, in his heart, he's a mighty pirate of his own kind. You know.
He's a legend in his own mind.
And we also wanted to have deep and complex characterization, such as these completely unexplored personality types.
Nerd, stoner guy.
Exactly.
Nerd stoner guy, hard ass.
Looking for your run-of-the-mill manatee, Copley.
Yeah.
Classic tropes of any pirate story.
And if I did, that would be a
But-
secret of the Brotherhood.
Brotherhood?
Democratically united Brotherhood of the
Yep.
Manatee.
Yeah.
But by this
No,
time, we've actually gotten our characters to look remarkably different by this point, though, which is a big plus.
Yeah, I think we had hit our stride with the tall, skinny guy looking different than the other guys, and also the short, fat guy.
Yeah, it was all about hair and glasses.
And arm
Well, we broke
acne.
up their silhouettes, which was nice.
I just don't understand how we were able to get Bug-Eye and Guybrush to make all the same faces in the face.
Yeah, how would we ever do
That
that?
took a lot of work.
Oh,
we
man,
just
here
missed
we
my
go.
favorite line where he says, "Awesome."
Here's this guy.
Yeah. The funny story about writing Murray is that I was terrified to do it because I thought the fans would skewer me. So I asked Dave Grossman to do it, and Grossman didn't. And he walked into my office like a week before the script was due and said, "You know those Murray lines that I've been working on?" Yeah. He's like, "Oh, those aren't done." Like, oh. So I sat down and wrote Murray all in one fell swoop, which is probably better, I guess, because it made him sound the same the whole way through.
Yep.
But
You just talked over the death of Santino.
Santino.
man, Santino.
He's so cool.
Joe and I really have a spiritual connection to Santino.
Yeah. Admiration. It probably came out better that way because you were under pressure and you were just like,
Yeah, the pressure I think allowed lines to come out that probably wouldn't have, which is kind of the classic Telltale writing trope. There are jokes that definitely, well, upon a second pass, would not have. I would have not have let them made the cut.
3 a.m. insanity.
Yeah, like the Double Fine joke that is made after this somewhere. Yeah, I would not have made that joke. But it's in there, so enjoy that.
So some of the battles that we sometimes try to iron out is, whether or not Murray's eyebrows are going to be moving or things of that sort. But with the skull, there's really not much else you can do.
Right.
Or it's
Yeah.
pretty much in the grin.
Yeah, it's one of those things that works way more correctly when Murray was like a 6-frame animation,
Yeah.
and now he. Oh god.
Monkey face.
yeah, there were a lot of revs of Murray too.
Yeah.
And revs of the voice acting and revs of the model.
Yeah, Murray went through a lot of revisions, and we actually had Denny Delk in the studio for quite a while, and at the end of the day,
Yeah,
it turned out really
Keith,
well. What were you looking at that I missed?
Oh no, Fish Eyes Alabaster. There was a giant backstory written for Fish Eyes Alabaster that got cut from the game
Oh yeah.
by Joe
Yeah,
while
I-
I was where was I?
I
was
abused.
I was on vacation.
I abused
Well,
your
you were
script
passed
so
out.
horribly.
There was definitely we should find a place to post that somewhere in the DVD.
And so this is an example of classic great ideas coming from different
You
people.
came up with that.
No, I didn't.
Some brilliant.
Yeah, some incredible genius.
Monkey
Now, the
face
whole
competition was all
face-off
you.
was Dave Bogan, our art director's concept.
Well, that's true. You pitched it to me via Dave Bogan. As yours, I should say.
That's right. Then I took credit for it, but the idea came from him,
Which is
so
also
great.
a classic.
Funny is Dave
Telltale
Bogan
gift.
went missing in the middle of production on this.
Nice.
Love that.
Yes.
Yeah. When we realized that we could just that moving an eye was really easy,
Yeah.
that the choreographers weren't gonna have a hard time with that, that made me happy.
This competition is over.
So things that made Dave Bogan happy are the bongos syncing with the rest of the music.
Oh, that was, yeah.
Yes,
This
and
environment-
that absolutely did not take a month of work to do.
That made Dave really happy. This environment made Dave and Nick Herman, who is the choreographer on this scene, very happy, and it made Randy, who is our lead programmer, very sad. Because this environment has like music syncing up with the bongos. Every character has their own theme. Nick went in and made all the little ducts like make little gas farts come out of them all the time,
Yeah, yeah.
which then have to turn off whenever you're using them. Like, it's really cool though. I don't know.
Yeah, it turned out great, but there was a lot of, you can hear the game developers screaming if you
Right.
play it in reverse.
If you turn the music down, actually, the ambient track
Exactly.
is just Randy's screams.
yeah.
So I believe episode 3 is also the first time where the Pox actually projects light onto other characters.
Ooh, we got new Pox technology.
Yeah, there's some canon behind that, I think.
That was evidenced in Winslow and the ship.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's coming up at all, but
There's only one consequence.
A double fine?
Hey, there's a double fine.
We're sorry.
Funnier
we
when
have
you play
no
the game.
shame.
Congrats, I guess Guybrush is in the brother.
Up to your discretion.
so also, did anyone actually try to figure out the grub thing, solving the puzzle?
There's some
Yeah, about
YouTube
2
videos.
days after we shipped.
Yeah.
Well, someone just cracked the code.
Yeah, someone
you know,
installed
used
some
some
sort of cracker
utility.
that can peek into memory, and then they just modified it so they had 100,000 grubs.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
But it's on YouTube somewhere.
I think Mike
can
Lang
check
actually
that
wrote
out.
a little grub collected theme, but I don't think it got in.
Oh, really?
Oh.
I think it got purged out because people forgot to put it into that cutscene.
Maybe I'll find it and make it my ringtone forever.
No, I love this. This is like such a little. There's
Yeah.
hardly any gameplay here, but I just love the feeling of this bit.
Yeah, this came out really well. I remember reading the original pitch where they were running between several different rooms, and
Yeah.
I just couldn't imagine how you could pull it off.
Yeah. This
And,
was a triumph of being forced to cut it down into something that actually worked.
Yeah.
even
it's a really nice
then,
moment.
it's like designing and like then sitting there with in dialogue trying to write this. You're like, how is this gonna work? How is this gonna look? But like, it's really well framed and
Sweet animation.
Uh,
This is
Morgan
why
triumphant.
having cinematic artists is the best.
Nick Herman.
Yeah, Nick Herman
Nick
kicked some
Herman.
ass on that whole
Manatee
bit.
Cutaway!
Oh, Manatee Cutaway.
Oh, yes,
Whoa,
Jake Rodkin.
yeah. Manatee Cutaways were key.
Oh,
They're
and let's not forget.
back to an old like submarine movie
I know,
trope.
it's hard for those stupid manatee cutaways because you gotta go Hunt for Red October style where you just get to like manatee barreling through the sea.
And also so many moments were like, clock wipe here. And we're like,
No more clockwise. This escape is Greg Killian, and it's a really nice thing.
Whoa.
The end. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wait.
Hey.
Slash.
Yuck!
That could have been worse.
Really?
Just a quick trip up the blowhole.
Manatees don't have blowholes.
What?
I think that was the first joke.
We might have recorded manatees don't have blowholes
Yeah.
like 35 times. Trying to like. Well, they don't. I'm like, I know, but like, Nikki, work with me.
Guybrush can hold his breath for 10 minutes.
Is that so?
Yeah, it's a skill I developed in college.
Well then, what are you waiting for?
What was he doing in
College.
I know that was supposedly a
Nice.
really filthy joke, but
Make it a
Yeah.
oh yes,
Mhm.
oh this pleases me.
I stole directly
From Monkey 2.
The scale
No,
of
we
this
did a lot of
scene makes
stealing
me
from
so
Monkey 2.
happy. I remember being in this room and trying to draw the scale of it on that whiteboard. And
Yeah.
then people being like, I don't
The
know.
whiteboard right behind him right now.
I don't know.
This environment's huge.
Ah,
no,
that's
it's just
so
a wall
lovely.
with rocks.
Throat pirate hunter, but
Eric
do you have any
Parsons
email
at his
insight
best.
into this manatee problem?
You mean the
That was all of Eric's
monster?
work we'll be showing.
Same.
Yeah.
Was that
That's
all?
about all I did.
Was that all that dog paddle thing planned from the beginning? Or?
No.
You know, she might seem cold and
That was you and
bitter.
Dave Bogan, Eric.
Yeah, that,
Yeah.
that was somewhere halfway through production
You know?
that we need more
Not murdering anything that gets near her cave.
clean.
What do you do when she showed her?
Yeah, his dog pedal.
Oh, is this the key to the whole episode? The
Yes.
emotional linchpin? Everything? Just watch this.
Another
This
manatee
Bannerman's
swims
pride.
around
Bannerman's
her.
pride.
She kills
I don't
them
like you
because
guys.
Bannerman knows how to do
It absolutely is, though. It's
Someone had
terrific.
overcome that fear of death. And
This was
she
another
was
thing that took
the
forever to
one enough
record,
teach
but we got it.
And took forever to compose.
I
too.
hugged Nikki after she
Just-
like finally, well, after this was finally recorded.
And then we could get the sponge?
Yes. And then we could
And then
get
my
the
neck
sponge.
snapped.
And then we can cure Elaine.
Oh, you dope guys.
Got hurt.
They keep calling it the emotional linchpin, by the way, because in the file where the game is written, it is highlighted in big, bold letters that this scene is important. Because oftentimes we have to do so much to get an episode out that things like that will.
Right. It's like, oh, this is just everyone talking, so it's cheap.
It's like, oh yeah, there's just a lot of talking in it. There's no action. I'm like, no.
Yeah, there was definitely one of the scenes I kind of was holding my breath for because I knew that was where we started to build the relationship with Morgan and Guybrush and really build it up. And I was waiting to make sure it happened just right, and it came out beautifully.
I love that right
Made
before
me very happy.
right before Murray is knocked back into the ocean, he self-identifies as Santino. Or it's like he's like, I'm Santino. He's assumed
That
the
was kind of
Santino
fun.
identity.
Yeah. I figured he should call himself Santino once, and right before
Right.
he's no longer
Like,
Santino.
oh, this isn't so bad. Oh,
Yeah.
whoa.
That was a good design session. The possessing.
The possession.
Oh
session.
yeah, the possession.
session.
Yeah, possessing the voodoo lady. We did go around and around on that, and we talked about her wandering the island and meeting people and talking to them and all this stuff.
Oh yeah, it was originally you possess the voodoo lady and actually walk her over to DeSinge's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we're gonna
either
go on
wanted
a
to
whole
possess
other
the voodoo
adventure.
lady or possess Guybrush's hand and walk him around with
Sailor
a little
hat,
tricorner
right.
hat and sail the world.
Yeah.
That was going to be cool.
There was going to be a whole 3-hour mini
That's
game
right.
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you were just
But
the hand.
again, you know,
And we
having
couldn't we couldn't ship the whole entirety of Flotsam
Yeah.
in this episode.
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't get Blossom in.
It was yet another forced into a smaller but better
Way better.
zone.
And I remember when you pitched me the tarot card mechanic, I was like, that's never going to work, and I love it. It's one of my favorite things in the whole game.
Yeah, I remember the look of scorn in your eyes. This is stupid.
Me? Thanks, Mark. Put it there on the table.
Thanks, Mark. I
Now
like that.
scram.
Guybrush's acknowledgement of his voodoo lady jiggle when he gets into her body and is looking at it, it makes me so happy.
Is that Bogan? Who did that? That animation.
Probably Bogan.
Sure.
Probably.
We'll give it to Bogan.
Yeah. It's both.
He would make that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have made it.
I remember debating for a while whether the possessed voodoo lady should have Guybrush's voice or the voodoo lady trying to do Guybrush's voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he made the right
It was,
call.
I think we definitely did. It was,
Yeah.
I think it'd be really tough to.
I mean, she's already doing the voodoo lady's voice. It's
Right.
like,
Eric, you want to talk about manatee love and putting it together?
Sweet, sweet
My
manatee.
therapist would recommend that I don't talk about manatee love anymore.
Okay, fine.
It just reminds me so much of the end of that Star Trek movie.
Oh yeah, there totally is the Star Trek 4 whales.
Yeah.
At the very end of this scene where they
There's also
go corkscrewing out.
I don't know if it makes it into the into this commentary, but I also did put a Star Destroyer shot with a manatee.
I love that. Here it is.
There we go.
I just love that. Oh my god. Dun, 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 dun,
What are you saying,
dun.
Joe?
But it's nothing copyrighted.
This game's
See, relationships, love connections.
You guys want to talk about how you originally
Star
wanted?
Trek in back to back?
Yeah.
You guys originally wanted to dress up the manatee with lipstick.
Yeah, that was a
And,
bad idea.
Oh, that was a genius idea. Are you kidding? That would have been great.
Look how huge that sponge is!
Yeah, this
No,
is
there's
another
no
thing.
way that it's only the size of a tennis ball.
That is gorgeous.
Kudos on pulling that off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way to go, Eric.
I think as a company, our sight gags are getting more sophisticated.
And that we're doing them now.
Well, yeah, I've
glow
been seeing some
effects?
stuff lately.
Did you not play this one, Mark?
He's hovering.
I played it once.
Whenever anything big happens, it just has to go to white.
Yeah.
That's a new Monkey Island trope.
Time to take my Esponja Pequeño to Elaine.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that now.
Right?
We finally got him. We really hoodwinked old Coronado, eh? Now, I just gotta get back to her.
Guybrush, you idiot. No.
Joe, this is like a pitch for the game.
No,
Joe's design pitches are really entertaining, by the way. There are voices done.
This is the end of the line.
Really?
Oh,
Hear
I
me
forgot that he shows him back
The
the...
insert shot of the locket with Guybrush just hastily pasted over.
That's right.
I totally... That's not in the script. That's just genius choreography.
Yeah, there are so many little touches added to make it all.
Also Chaikin versus Chaikin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the one moment where the
But
voice
Guybrush
actor is
the
standing
comma
next to himself.
Versus Culture Shock Max.
Yeah.
Versus Phony Bone.
Yeah, this episode should just be dedicated to Andrew Chaikin in some sense. Also known as Kid Beyond. Google it.
The rope holding my cake?
No, but I bet the blade of
The
your
final collaboration between the two star-crossed people.
Daniel, do you want to talk about setting this up and then going away to have a baby? Leaving everyone else to finish it? Talk about that?
How
Did a
it's
good job. One thing I did accomplish, I think, was a ship sailing away, and if you hang out in that moment for too long, the ship disappears.
Oh yeah, the Kava leaves in the background.
Yeah.
Santino picked it up.
No!
Right.
Huh.
They forgot the sponge.
Activism.
Right next to that giant nail.
Yes, sir. Then empty the cannons on him, me
I love the textures on the Howler.
A little thing about empty the cannons on him, me hearties, is a reference to a line Andrew Langley wrote for a fake Monkey Island audio.
First things first.
What was the deal with that, Jake?
Oh, you did get those in there.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Mix and Mojo is a like LucasArts fan site, and at some point, like April 1st, like 2003, an extreme heist was pulled where LucasArts gave permission to get Dominic Armato to record a bunch of fake lines as if they were leaked from Monkey Island 5. And now some of those lines are in the game because Andrew and I kept begging writers to sneak them in.
Yes.
Andrew also got in on the crew forums.
Sorry,
I
little
can't
buddy.
remember one of Guybrush's favorite things.
Is Andrew Langley.
Is programmer Andrew Langley, yeah.
Oh man, extreme horsehead.
Yeah.
This is Dennis Lennart again, taking over for absent Daniel.
Still hungry, fella.
Yeah, we always thought it was funny that you could tell sometimes when the Wallace and Gromit choreographers ended up on Monkey because suddenly the cameras would just go completely bananas and all this. I don't know why it was them.
Well, it's Unleashed Führer because
I could go crazy with them now. Yeah.
and he did.
Oh, man.
Yeah, like
Great job.
this shot is not art approved.
Icor!
Does anyone see eyes in Mounty's nose? Or is it just me?
What? I will now in my nightmares.
Oh, no, that's not good.
Now that I think about it, keeping that
One little
seahorse head in my
splash.
pants the entire time I was underwater probably wasn't the safest course of action.
That was Dave Grossman. Dave Grossman.
Well played.
That was all him, I think.
I
Need
didn't
an
even
ending
have to
line.
run anyone through.
So although this wasn't the emotional linchpin, I think the acting was pretty heavy in this too. Like there's a lot going on with Morgan trying to make her final decision.
Yeah, there was a lot of back and forth on where she should be, how far behind him, what her expression is she having a good time, is she grim and determined, is she psyched?
How do we make it look like manatees are going under the boat?
Boat, yeah. It's very
The
important.
size disparity on the manatees will make me happy forever, by the way. Just the obscene disparity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically God of War.
They're headed.
Everyone's just so happy here too.
Yeah.
Wherever nature tells them to, I imagine.
Oh, man.
My heart breaks
Nice.
every time.
Forehead off of the railing.
Oh, man.
Is that it?
Oh, man. Just,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
wind.
Is the epilogue in here?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, right.
This is
Oh,
very
right.
good.
This is episode 3.
Best part of the
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
The best part of the episode.
Wow. Thanks.
Yeah, so here's
Yeah,
this.
the thing about this is, this was with a re-record of Denny Delk, and Mark, you were with me in the studio, and then we did this, but it was all like, he would just pick a name that we had on a list, and he'd be like, tell me something about this guy, and we kind of just cooked up things in the studio. Like Eric, who's sitting here, tell me something about Eric. I'm like, pretty boy.
And Murray says to me, tell it to someone who cares, so whatever you told Denny Delk, I'm sure it was complimentary.
We almost cut the Dan Connors line because we thought it might really anger Dan.
Don't piss
And you
off the
don't
boss.
want Dan.
But it's still in there.
I believe I'll name names now. I asked you, Joe Penny, if it was okay to include that, and you said, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're good for it.
Yeah. Because I definitely went to Joe and said, Joe, you got to take the fall for that one, even though I was...
For Murray mocking our CEO
Even though...
in the game.
That's the one line I think I did feed him. I did feed Denny Delk.
You're fired now.
I know. Wow. When
That's
this
a
dude-
that's a lot of environment he's traversing. How do we manage to have such a huge environment?
Oh, it's actually 1-to-1 it's like down to a crazy, trench at the bottom of the sea. Murray actually falls 15 scale miles in this shot.
Well, he's also been falling for a while. He fell into the water, a good 20 minutes ago. So he actually gets blown around by the current, which the low pressure pushes him back up to the surface.
Yeah, people have been asking what adventures Murray has after you knock off his head, and that's pretty much where this is Murray continuity now. Is
Yeah.
20 minutes being blown around by the ocean.
He did hang out with Treasure Crab for a while, right?
Oh man, treasure crab.
Yes.
Yeah. For some reason, 2 breakaway characters from this game are Winslow and the treasure crab.
Yeah.
Or breakaway, tearaway characters.
It's important to note that we do thank you. Yes, you.
Yes.
It's important.
And it's important that Brendan Ferguson remains a pet.
Oh, Brendan.
And there's a reason why I wasn't here.
Yeah.
You had
Leah.
Monkey babies.
Yes.
Little baby
One of
Leah.
about 8 or 9 monkey babies on this project.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys basically birthed an entirely new Telltale team during the making of Monkey
We
Island.
birthed the Out from Boneville production team, in fact.
Yeah. Oh, there's Treasure Crab.
The 2 sets of twins helped, I guess.
Yes.
Yay, it's over.
That was fun.
But wait.
But wait, there's more?
There's more?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Coda.
right.
Coda. Forgot.
Yes.
Winslow.
Oh, Winslow.
Here's the thing, is when somebody tells you you don't have enough budget to have a character in an episode...
I don't think we realized just how awesome Winslow was until
Mark
into
wrote
the
him in
end of
2.
the episode.
So too.
Yeah.
And so naturally, I got rid of him at 4.
I know.
As 2 was getting produced, Mark had brought Winslow to life.
We're done now, though.
And
Oh. It's really over now.
It's over.
It's
Okay.
over.
Thanks.
That's it.
perfect timing.